Engine 222, you're en route. Caller was on Elm Avenue. They could see the flames behind 87 Elm Avenue. They advised it was going to be in the forest area between Elm and Woodlock.
Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Hey, out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon to miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us we have the Uniden Bearcat portable scanner, model BC75XLT. I picked this up from Amazon for around $65 on sale. They run around $80 to $90 typically, and $120 on their website. Here's the box it came in, Uniden portable scanner. A little bit of information on the front there. There's your frequency ranges. You guys can pause and look at those. Picture of the radio. Close call feature. Here we have some French writing. French writing on the back. This side here we have some bullet points. And things that stand out to me is PC programming, quick search, display backlight, which is nice, triple conversion circuitry, 3 power options. We'll go over all these things. So there it is. I took everything out of the box. It's packed real well. First thing in the box, let me go ahead and just lower this down. Okay, so we get a carry strap. Yeah. Haven't put it on yet, but nice to have. Next, we get the USB cable. It's a mini variety. This is to program the radio, and it's also to charge the internal nickel metal hydride batteries when you have those installed. So dual purpose. Good that they included it. Nice cable. All right, so we got some paperwork. Always nice getting paperwork. We got, let's see here, we got some advertisement. National Communications. Looks like a magazine. Cool. Didn't even know that existed. Awesome. Next we have PoliceScanner411.com. So here we go for hobbyists, for professionals. Kind of cool. They got a museum for police scanners. Some common ones. I actually own this one here. This Bearcat 3 Electra. Pretty common. You can find those on eBay pretty cheap. But just cool looking picture. Dig it. Alright. Here we have a manual all in French. So those who speak and read French, you're going to love this. It's all for you, the entire book. So there it is. And then, of course, the English manual. It's pretty clear and concise, though a lot of this terminology was very difficult for me to learn. Since this was my first scanner, I didn't really know the terminology on scan, search, service, bands, things like that. I was kind of in the dark what close call was, priority. Those things all were difficult for me to understand when I first got this. But using the radio and then going back and forth with the manual really helped to learn the radio. So there's some interesting stuff in here. There's, what the features do. Like, we'll go over all that. That was really confusing. I was like, what am I getting into? But once you start doing it and then practicing with the radio, you'll become a pro in no time. And plus, you have this video that I'm making for you guys, so you can be educated when you get your radio in. So here's a US band plan. This shows you the frequency coverage and how it steps. And if you look over here, it steps a little differently. Here you got 7.5 kilohertz stepping on some of those frequencies there. So that gives you an idea of what this does when it's scanning and searching. And there's the Canadian band plan. Okay, so yeah, we'll go over most of what's in the book here. If I miss anything, we'll probably have a video too. So let's go ahead and just show you the radio. Awesome. I'm going to kind of put it in frame like this because it's quite the long radio with the antenna on. Let's go over dimensions real quick. We have 2.5 inches wide. We have 5 inches long or tall with the volume, and then 11 inches with the antenna. And then for depth, we have 1.5 inches, including the bell clip there. Pretty cool. So for size comparison, I brought out a handheld transmitter, a Yaesu FT70DR. That gives you an idea for size. This is really handy. I love this radio. A lot of reviews out there. I'll end up doing one. But there's a lot of features on this radio I got to learn too. So, but there you go for size comparison. All right. I think everybody that owns one of these or has, their technician class license and they have one of these handheld transmitters, I think it's always cool to have a backup scanner. This is amazing as far as scanning through the frequencies very quickly versus the handheld transmitters. So you can find something quick with the scanner and plug it into your handheld, which is really nice. So quick little information there for you guys. All right, so we're going to go over the features of this radio. I'm going to zoom it down a little bit. All right. So the Uniden BC75XLT, it's entry level. It has 300 channels that you can store. So you have 300 memories. That's what I call it. They call it channels. And then you scan on those stored frequencies. So that's how that works. First you search for them, and then you store them, and then you scan on those. So a lot of people who don't know anything about scanners will wonder what the differences are between searching and scanning. And of course, we will talk about that once I turn this on too. So let's go over to look at the radio. I thought this was going to be rubber. It's not, which is good. It's just this nice little knurled plastic here to hold on to. I like the fact that there's no rubber on the radio at all. It's all plastic components. The only rubber here we have is this little cover and the antenna. So left side, we just have that design. Top of the radio, we have the antenna. I really didn't measure it. I think it's like 6.5 inches. It's a BNC connector. Easy to put on, difficult to remove. I had to use a cloth and a pair of pliers to remove this. Just really difficult to remove. So if you put it on, just leave it on. Here we have a headphone jack, which is really good sounding. It's mono both ears, but it's very quiet, very easy to listen to what's coming in on the radio. I love it. Here we have a select knob, and it has a enter function when you click down. And it has a select feature, a volume, and then squelch. So that's your squelch knob too. I don't know if you can see that. It's in an orange writing. And the orange writing is accessed by hitting the orange button here, the function button. So there you go. All right. The right-hand side of the radio, you'll notice it's a similar style as the left. But here we have a charge remote jacket here. We pull this out. And this is our USB input. And that uses it to charge the nickel metal hydride batteries installed, or to interface with the PC to program this radio, which is pretty cool. You can download the software for free from Uniden's website. And it's pretty basic. They give you the driver for the radio if your computer doesn't recognize it. And then it's this basic software. I recommend getting it because then you can download it. And in case your radio ever gets wiped out, the memory drops, you have a backup on your computer, and you can put all those channels back on. I would be lost if I didn't have a backup. So definitely a plus with that software. But again, it's very basic. If you know anything about Chirp, it's even more simple than Chirp. It's really basic. It's easily laid out. I really like it. It's a nice setup. So that, like I said, it's free with the radio. You just go on the site and download it because they already give you the cable. Now, anything about the power options, which we'll talk about here in a second. Close that there. So on the back, we'll just quickly talk about that before we go back to the front. Belt clip, serial number behind the belt clip. So with the power options, you got the batteries. Here we have nickel metal hydride batteries installed. Top battery, the positive is to the left, and the bottom battery is the positives to the right. And if you look in there, you'll see a switch for alkaline and nickel metal hydride mode. So if you're running alkaline batteries, make sure the switch is to the left. And of course, using rechargeables, switch to the right. That way you don't blow up your alkalines by charging them by mistake. So that's your one power feature. Second power feature is the USB cable. I actually tested it. You can plug the USB cable into a power block, like a little, iPhone charger or whatever, and it will run the radio without batteries in it. So that's really neat. So you can just let it run all day long and not worry about running your batteries dead. That's really handy. And it also will work if you had like a mini USB to DC, converted for your car. So you can do the same thing with the car. Also neat. You can also probably charge from the car too. So just little things for you to know about that. So that's the 3 power options. Pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the front of this radio. So we have Uniden, we have this LCD, which we'll talk about. There'll be a bunch of things displayed on there, and we'll tell you what each one does. The buttons. Let's go over to buttons here. We have a hold button with a little symbol there. It looks like a C within like a little target. I can zoom in on that. Yeah, so this is that close call feature. You'll use that when you're in a crowds of people who have handheld transmitters, and they're using them. And what this radio will do is if you're scanning or searching, if you have this mode activated, it'll actually be searching for any frequencies being used locally. It'll recognize strong signals, and what it'll do is it'll pop in. You can set it to do not disturb or to override what you're listening to. So if you're listening to a police band and all of a sudden somebody is transmitting close to you, it can override that and go right to them, which is really neat. So you can find out if there's any local activity happening near you. Neat feature. And of course you got the hold button, which lets you hold transmission. So if you pick up a cool transmission, you don't want it to go away because it's searching or scanning, you just hit hold so it stays on frequency. Below this we have the scan button. So the scan and search, you'll see another button below that called search. So scan is interesting. We'll talk about that. Scan is what a scanner does. It scans, but it scans on the stored frequencies that you put in the radio. So as you search and find frequencies, you will store them into banks. And this radio has 300 channels, and it has 10 banks of 30 each. That's how it's set up. So 10 banks of 30. And what you can do is search on all the banks, or a certain number of the banks, or one bank, or 3 of the banks. It's kind of neat. You can actually adjust what banks it searches on, or scans on, excuse me. And we'll show you that again too. Search, I'm going to go up here. So you'll see this red here says SVC. Now all these red printed labels here is accessed by the function key. That means service band. So you can actually search all the frequencies this radio can do, or you can search particular service bands. It has 10 service bands, which is really nice. And I'll show you those. I think there's air, marine, police, fire, other, ham, race. So I'll show those to you. It's pretty cool. Below this, we have a lockout feature. Very important when you find a station that is transmitting and it's a bunch of noise, but there's nothing going on. You can lock that out so the radio will skip that, which is really nice. Now with the lockout feature, you get 100 temporary and 100 permanent. So you get total 200. What the temporary is if you're using the radio and you're hitting lockout while it's searching, and you do temporary lockout, it stays locked out until you turn the radio off and turn it back on. So it resets every time you turn the radio on and off. But if you do the lockout, hit this button twice while it's on frequency that has noise, it'll permanently lock that out. So again, you get 100 temporary and 100 permanent. Below this, we have a power button with a illumination icon. So you get the backlight illumination. Here we have a numeric keypad, 1 through 0 there. You'll notice it says PRI, that's your priority channel, and we'll explain that. You get 10 priority channels total on this radio, 1 for each bank of memories. So out of each of those 30 in those 10 banks, you can set one of those channels to a priority channel, which is pretty handy. And we'll do that too. Numeric keypad, like I said, 5, you got a delay function. Typically I have everything set to delay so I don't miss anything. Here we have, which is 2-second delay by the way. Here we have a PSRC, which is a programmable search. So this radio has a customizable search. And this is really interesting. It's going to be difficult to show in this video, but I'll just talk about it real quick. When the radio is on and you're doing a search, you can actually customize the search. So say the airband. I want to search 108 megahertz to 112 megahertz. You can do that. You use this program search function. You set it to the start of the frequency at 108. The top of the search, it's say 119 or wherever you want to stop at 112. And then it'll search just that little bit over and over and over, which is really nice. Instead of searching the entire airband, it'll search parts of the airband. So you can customize that, which is really, really, really cool. Really powerful, actually. So that's how I found about 40 frequencies with this on the airband alone. Just had a lot of fun with that. Okay, so then down here, we have an enter key program function. You use this a lot. This is how you add your found stations on search to your channel so you can scan them. Again, we'll go over that, but that's a button you'll use all the time. 0. Okay, here we have the decimal and then clear. If you make a mistake, you just hit this a couple times and clear and exits out. Function key I told you about, that you access those red icons, and also to access the squelch feature on top. All right, so little speaker down here is 1 1/4 inch. Sounds good for the voice. And so let's go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to talk and talk and talk, and so let's see what this thing can do. All right, so turn it on, you just press and hold the power button. Okay, and here's the display. You know what, I'm going to just zoom this down a little bit. So, okay, let's see if we can. So right now, when you turn the radio on, it always defaults to scan if you have something stored. You just turn this down. Okay, so when something's stored on the radio, it'll automatically go to scan. When you first get your radio, you will not get this screen. You will get a all lockout type display. That means you have to start searching, hit the search button, and then once you start finding and storing stations, then when you turn the radio on, it goes automatically into scan mode. So let's go ahead and show you what the display has. Right now it's scanning. It's scanning my stored stations. And what we're going to do is I'm going to hit hold. And we're going to go to search. So if I'm going to search for a frequency, I'm going to hit search. And then let me show you this really quick with all of the things lit up here. Let's see, 3. So if you look on top here, there's numbers. And they're flashing. That's where the radio's scanning. 9 and then 1 0 and then 1. Okay, turn this on and see what pick up anything while we're talking. Okay, so we have a few icons. So the 1 through 10 right now in the search mode is blocks of frequencies that the radio is going to check. Now as it's searching, which it goes about 90 per second and then a burst of 270 per second, I believe, when it hits the 5 kilohertz modes. So it goes very quickly. Every 2 seconds it's checking for close call feature. Right now I found some static on 124.416. So if we want to bypass this, we just hit this temporary lockout button. You'll see this little display that says TLO. Hit that once, and that's just temporary. And if you hit it twice, it'll be permanent. And you can remove those permanent ones. There's a way to do it. So if you go, oops, I didn't mean to permanently lock that out, you can actually undo that. But right now it's scanning the airband, looking for any activity. And like I said, stopping every 2 seconds to see if there's anything in that close call feature. And if you look there, you'll see a C, like a little target in there. And we can turn that off by hitting function, hitting this hold button. I changed it to go ahead and disturb me if you find something, and then we can turn it off. So it has do not disturb if you're on frequency, and go ahead and disturb me, and then it's off. So we found some more noise. We're going to go ahead and just lock that out. Oops, I just forgot I was on function. Use the key lock. So that's also the key lock feature. Let's go ahead and lock that out. Let that keep scanning. So this is pretty neat. And what you can do here is you can just say, okay, I don't want it to search this top band here. Oh, we found a ham, I think. So this is one.
So are you going to take some vacation time over the holidays? I was informed I'm going to be working the day before and the day after.
So this is neat. This is a local repeater that I actually haven't saved yet. So I'll show you how to save that. So I was doing a basic search and I found these hams talking here on the repeater. So I'm going to save this into the banks of memory. So how we save is this. I'll just talk over this guy. All right, so I want to save this frequency. So what I'll do is I'll hit function, and to get to this key program, the program comes up, and right here it's asking which spot you want to put it in. It automatically looks for an empty spot. So in bank 1, I have an empty spot on 15, but I want to go change it to a different bank because I have all my ham radio frequencies on bank 6. So to get to bank 6, I have to hit function again. Shows up, and I turn the knob up here. If you look, it changes. 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to store it here. So I'm going to hit function one more time, and now it's flashing. So if I do it here, it'll overwrite that frequency. I want to go turn, and you can see what I'm on channel 153, 154, 155, and 155 is open on bank 6. So I'm going to go ahead and store it there by hitting E. So there you go. So now it's on my bank 6 for scanning. So to get this mode, you can just hit scan. Trying to find a good volume for you guys. So yeah, we just learned how to program it in. And now if you wanted to make that a priority channel, we can do that. I'm gonna just lock this out, get past this. Okay, so you'll see this says PRI, and that's your priority mode. I told you could have 10 priority channels, 1 through 10. It's actually checking right now. You can see it flashing. Pretty cool. With that P flashing right there. You can see that. So you can turn that off by hitting function and then the PRI key. Now there's the disturb, or turn it off, or priority do not disturb. So we'll just turn it off. But to set the priority feature, it's pretty easy. You just hit, I believe it's function. You find the frequency you want to set to priority. Let's set, I have that right now as my priority. Let's set it to this. Let's see what's a good one. 119. So we'll set to 119. So we'll set priority to this. And what you do is you hit function and then hit priority. Let's see, program, and then function priority. And it's set to put a P here on this frequency. So if I turn it off, you can see that that 119 has that priority on bank 3. You're only allowed 1 per bank. Okay, that gives you an idea. Let's go ahead and show you the service frequencies. This is fun. So we're going to go hit the function key, and we're going to go here to service search. So we're going to access the service.
Is expected at this time.
And there's a weather mode, which is cool. What I do is I hit hold, and you can scroll through the different weather channels.
At 4 p.m. at Chicago O'Hare, the temperature was 41 degrees. The dew point was 27.
Let's check out our
And
squelch.
the relative humidity was 57%. The wind was south at 9 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.09
Up to
inches
15.
and falling.
I run mine
Elsewhere
around
around the
2.
region, it was 41 at Waukegan, 41 at Chicago's
It's down
lakefront,
to select.
38 at DuPage Airport, and 36 at DeKalb. Milwaukee, Wisconsin reported 42.
Okay.
Moline reported
Let's keep going.
47.
So we got police. So you can pick up any police activity. So you can see it's scanning through the police vans. Found somebody. So we can hold it, and then we can program that and check. I think I have this one programmed already. 156, 165. If you're not sure, just go ahead and try to program it. So let's go ahead and program this. So we'll hit function, program, and it's going to open up. It's going to say, oh, you want to put it in this one here? It's open. And I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to put it here because in my bank 1, I'm using all for police. So let's see if I have it entered. So it says, yes, I do. On number 13, I have it entered already. It also says, do you still want it on 15? If you do, you hit E again. So you can store it twice or 3 times. So you could have the same frequency on different banks if you wanted. So it's handy. I'm not going to do that yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and exit this by hitting scan. Okay, so let's go back to our service function there. We're going to go search more police there. You can see it going up the dial there. It goes really quick. I love that. That's a big thing about these scanners. They're great. Once you get your station stored, you can scan. It's just amazing what you can find. Now there's a website.
Just grab information from.
There's a local police department. You can find quite a bit online there. They give you a couple of websites to check out. I haven't looked at them yet. I'm just doing it what I can find, just natural. Just sitting there and seeing what's around. Found some static, just temporarily lock that out. Okay, so let's go see what else is out here. We got fire. Search the fire band. So right now we found something on a fire band here. I know I have that one saved. Okay, and then you can let go of hold. And that's another one. I'm not sure if I have that one, so let's go ahead and just check. Function, program.
From the radio, who is 10-7?
Channel 6, okay.
379, have a good evening.
Let's go back to...
10-4, Davis, 458. You have a wonderful evening as well.
I'll put the close call on. Let's turn that off. Okay, so that's the fire. And then we got marine. I haven't picked up anything with marine. I'm kind of far away from rivers or a big lake. I don't know if I'd pick up Lake Michigan from here. I haven't yet, so that'd be a first. Let's see what else we got. We got race. So if you had a racetrack where you can listen to the racers in the car, so that's pretty cool. I know some of you guys, NASCAR fans, probably love having this scanner or probably have one and use it at the racetrack. Pretty cool stuff. And then let's see here, we got airband. So you have the whole airband by itself here, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about finding which bank it is in those frequencies in the regular search. You can use a service band to search the airband, as you see here. And then let's go, we got ham. We'll see if those guys are still talking.
Stainless, medical grade stainless, which is really nice. But, yeah, I got to figure that out.
AC9RW back.
ahead, Terry.
So yeah, I found about 4 or 5 active repeaters with this.
They're real easy. I did a search online, and there's calculators to make, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 element, whatever you want. It gives you all the dimensions. You just punch in the frequency, and it's pretty simple. So I don't know who we're talking to, Bob. I just literally walked in and jumped in, so I'll toss it over to you. AC9RW.
The temperature is 29 degrees. The wind is out of the south at 12 miles per hour at the K9ESV repeater.
Good afternoon.
Okay, that's cool. I don't have that one, so let's program that in. Function. Now we don't want it in bank 1, so I'm going to hit function again. Change my bank to bank 6. Hit the function so I can get out of that mode. And then scroll through and open frequency on bank 6. There we go. 156 is open. And 1 enter then is 156. Cool. And there we are. We can listen to whatever that was. I think it's a repeater in my county repeater. So pretty cool stuff. So okay, let's see what else did I show you. Did I show you everything else in the service band? Ham, rail. Yeah, rail I picked up 1 frequency. Another thing I've been picking up here with just basic searching is like school bus depots and school bus. You hear the school bus drivers talking about their buses. They're always breaking down. Yeah, that's funny. It's true. I'm sure in the city maybe they have taxi. I don't know if they have analog radios on taxis, but that'd be kind of cool to listen to them. But I live out where there's not many taxis, so. But that was cool hearing the school bus drivers every morning complaining, and in the afternoon. So okay, nothing on the rail. We have CB. Typically CB I hear mainly during the day. At night there's nothing. There's no local CB activity happening around here. We don't live by a trucker town or anything. But be cool if you were by an interstate. You could pick up some CBers. There you go. So it's going through all the channels. And then let's see what else we got. We got other. So the other is, I believe, in the book. We'll leave it, see if it picks up anything. I do have a local, what do you call it, industrial park by me, and they use radios. And I picked them up. And I think they're on the GMRS system. And here we go. So yeah, shows you a little bit. You can pick up the FRS and GMRS users and some other business radios when you're using the other thing. It's pretty neat. So and that's what that's scanning for right there. So you don't have to put those frequencies in your storage. You can save that because it already has it here. So you don't have to worry about having a particular one saving memory. So you can save your 300 channels for something else. So there it is. Cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let's just listen to what I found and what I stored on my radio. A few minutes of that. So we're going to go ahead and go to scan. I'm going to add back in my police band. Aircraft bands are 2 and 3. 6 is my ham band.
Doesn't sound the best, but not the worst either. Over to you, Bob, KC9JBA and the group AC9RW.
Yeah, Roger. You guys, don't breathe on me, all right? I'm doing pretty good so far. No sickness yet. I figured right after the holiday, Thanksgiving holiday, somebody was going to be sick.
So we'll turn it off. Set this down here. So a lot of aircraft activity since I found so many frequencies. This might be a fire or police, one of the two. So the cool thing is we can just scan the police frequency. So what we'll do there is let's go back to scan. We'll turn off the aircraft. Right now I'm scanning on police and my ham bands. You can turn off the ham band if you don't want to listen to that bank there. So that's cool. If I could just scan.
699, I am 42.
699, Jessica.
So you can see it's really moving through those, like, I think 13, 14 frequencies. Pretty.
63, 10-4 on the radio check. Ambulance 951, clear the scene with a
Okay, there we go. You get a basic idea what this radio can do.
111, I'm hearing love you.
That's what I thought right now.
Okay then.
This is the bus.
You too.
Somehow I have that in my aircraft frequencies. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this off. All right. Put our hold on. So yeah. Okay, so the final thoughts on the Uniden. I'm having fun with this. Bearcat BC75XLT. I love it. For introductory into handheld scanners, portable. Let's bring this back up. You can't go wrong with this. You know, I paid like $65 for it. They average like upwards to 80. Definitely worth the investment. A lot of fun. Like I said, you're gonna get a lot of use out of it. Rechargeable batteries you can put in there. You can run it off of just a DC in, you know, the USB cable hooked up to a power brick. So you can just sit at home and have this thing running 24/7 if you want. Just love it. You can actually change antennas and put a bigger antenna and run it outside. That's something I'm thinking about, doing like a whip outside with this and see what I can pick up. I'm sure I'll get better signal reception. Just be amazing. So, but yeah, for the money, go ahead and get yourself one. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. There's a big model above this, but do you need it? I don't know. I mean, this is all I really need right now, and I'm happy with what I've received so far. I don't need anything fancy, and this is doing a job. So definitely gets a recommended buy in my book. So if you enjoyed the video presentation of the Uniden BC75XLT, please give me a big like. My supporters are great. It's you guys. 2, if you like Uniden products, I'm going to pick up more. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notified of future Uniden product reviews. And 3, make sure to comment below what you think about this radio. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Take care and goodbye.